Hey everyone, Brandon from Brandon's Baseball Cards here. Today's video is going to be kind of a something that it's been going around in my mind for quite some time regarding the sports card market, and I think it's something that needs to be said. And in previous videos, I've kind of gotten at this a little bit because I've expressed frustration. I have, at the rising prices, if you will, the astronomically high prices of some items, particularly unopened items. And I think we need to have an honest conversation about this hobby with ourselves, with each other. Because to me, it's become more and more one of my big frustrations in the past 6 months or so, and the time that we've seen this really sharp spike in prices. One of the things that has been most frustrating to me is that it just seems like the players that have the most financial resources to spend on the hobby are going to get all of the stuff that is desirable, right? And this is, I think, especially the case in unopened material. And I'm not picking on any individual in particular, but there are a few individuals on some of the Facebook groups, and then some unopened Facebook groups, sites where people can post recent pickups, where people can list items for sale on occasion. And I buy and sell on there from time to time. If I have a rack pack that I decided I want to move rather than keep, or if it just doesn't fit with my collection, I sell it on Facebook because eBay takes a lot of fees. But one of the frustrations that's really become apparent to me, in part because of my membership in these groups, is the fact that you'll see people, individuals, just genuinely spending astronomical amounts of money on unopened material. There are a few gentlemen in particular that I'm thinking of that it seems like every day or every other day they're posting things that they've picked up, and it's not mediocre stuff. It's really good stuff. I had one of such post. There was a post, actually, I think it was today or yesterday, and this gentleman had purchased this large amount of 1984 Donruss rack packs with stars showing, Darryl Strawberry showing, Nolan Ryan showing, expensive stuff, right? Child's play compared to what this individual, who again, I'm not picking on this person in particular, but it's a good example. There are lots of other times this individual was posted, and there's just literally dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of rack packs with stars showing, with very expensive, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. In a given month, it appears some of these individuals are spending. And to me, that's very frustrating, not only because a lot of these people, I wonder what they do for a living, and maybe I'm a little envious of their bankroll, but what are we doing here? Is this really just becoming kind of a contest to see who has the most money? Or is this about collecting and love of collecting? Because if it's about who has the most money, I know most of you that probably watch this channel, myself included, as the creator of this channel, we're not going to win. We're not going to win. There's not, I'm a university professor. University professors are very much the epitome of it's a middle-class job, right? I don't normally talk too much about my personal life on here, but I teach international relations courses at Troy University. I've been a university professor now for about 4 years. Love my job, love what I do. That's not the point, but the point is I am not rich, right? And even though I'm not rich, I'd like to be able to enjoy this hobby and have a nice obtainable goals for future items that I would like to pick up. It shouldn't take an entire month's budget of so-called, fun money, or whatever my wife and I call it, fun money, the money that we're allotted to purchase certain things in a given month. It shouldn't take an entire month's worth of fun money in the budget, quote unquote, to buy a rack pack that has for example, like a 1980 Topps rack pack. That should not cost an entire month's worth. This is not an item that needs to be $250 to $300. It's just crazy right now. It's just so crazy. Some of the other prices, I mean, they're just going through the roof, and it's ridiculous. A single wax pack, not to pick on 1980 Topps, but a single wax pack of 1980 Topps is $150 to $200 if it's graded. I think they're $80 at the Baseball Card Exchange website. I mean, most of us are going to be really quickly priced out of this market, and it's just going to be these elitist buyers who hoard this massive collection. And that's it. And so what I've really focused on, one of the reasons I focus on predominantly 81 to 85, a little bit of 70s when I have the money, right? I've shown some 1978 Topps rack packs I have on here. One of the reasons I focus on the 80s is simply because this was the last era of so-called vintage unopened that I could actually afford. And you know, that's quickly becoming not the case. You know, it's frustrating sometimes. You know, and you kind of have to stick within your budget. But if there's some item you're reaching for, if there's some item that you really, really want, and a year ago you would have been able to afford it, and now it's 3 times the price it was, you may have to come to terms with the fact that maybe you'll never get this item unless you're really willing to set aside a lot of your budget and save for a few months for such an item. That's what I would have to do if I wanted a let's say a 1977 Topps rack pack. Okay, very cool. Would love to have one. They're probably $500 or so for a 1977 Topps rack pack, give or take. That's a couple of months of saving. That's not a small amount of money by any measure. So when you're competing against people, and it is a competition, that's part of the problem. It's one of the reasons prices are going up so high. When you're competing against people that have more money than you for whatever reason, or at least they're willing to spend more money than you. Maybe they don't have more money than you. We don't know. You don't know other people's financial situations. But the fact that they're willing to spend more money than you means they're going to assemble this collection that you are trying to achieve as well. So I'm going to stick to what I do. I'm going to try to not overpay for items, because I think that, to be honest, there have been a few rack packs recently that I've purchased that I've overpaid on. And part of it is this fear of missing out, or FOMO, some of you have mentioned in videos. If I don't spend what the seller wants for the item, someone else is going to snatch this, and I won't have it for my collection, and I like this item, right? So I'm going to spend a little bit more than I would have otherwise. I've got a pack coming in the mail from Baseball Card Exchange. I've got a Baseball Card Exchange authentication order on its way here. I overpaid, I think, for one of the rack packs in that. But I'm trying to stick to what I'm comfortable with and within my budget as much as possible. And the rack packs that I'm picking up, they may not be, you know, not all of them. Some of them I think are, I mean, I love all my stuff. I personally love all my stuff, and to me that's what matters. But for some people may not give a crap about them. And you know what? That's fine. If you don't think they're cool, don't watch my channel, I guess, right? But I generally get a positive response with my collection. But there's always more out there, and there's always people with more money out there. And so we need to just really, really think about this. Is this just about who has the most money, or is this about love of collecting? For me, it's about love of collecting, and I hope it's about love of collecting for you. I hope you all have a great Labor Day weekend. Thanks for listening to my rant. Thanks for watching my channel. Please let me know down below your thoughts on this, and keep collecting vintage baseball.